It's Friday. Got my casual wear on. Got my hair up in a cute little ponytail. I don't know how cute it is, but it's up. And we are going to start off this morning with reading our Tale of Despero. Chapter 5 and 6 are so little that we're going to read both of them together and go ahead and work on the worksheet that goes with that. And you're like, great, Miss Taylor. Don't you love this mouse? How can you not? He's just adorable. All right, chapter 5. I need you to follow along with me. The Princess P looked down at Despero. She smiled at him. Ooh, let me stop. Remember the last chapter, he had walked out all the way to where? Yeah, King Philip's foot, and was just standing there listening to the music and loving life. Well, he was gonna get noticed, wasn't he? Okay, let's go back. The Princess P looked down at Despero. She smiled at him. And while her father played another song, a song about a deep purple falling over sleepy garden walls, the princess reached out and touched the top of the mouse's head. Despero stared up at her in wonder. The P, he decided, looked just like the picture of the fair maiden in the book in the library. The princess smiled at Despero again, and this time Despero smiled back. And then something incredible happened. The mouse fell in love. Aww. Isn't that the cutest little thing ever? All right. Reader, you may ask this question, and in fact, you must ask this question. Is it ridiculous for a very small, sickly, big-eared mouse to fall in love with a beautiful human princess named P? The answer is yes, of course. It's ridiculous. Love is ridiculous. But love is also wonderful and powerful. And Despero's love for Princess P would prove in time to be all of the things: powerful, wonderful, and ridiculous. "You're so sweet," said the princess to Despero. "You're so tiny." As Despero looked up at her adoringly, Furlough happened to scurry past the princess's room. Moving his head left to right, right to left, back to forth, he was scurrying, right? "Cripes," said Furlough, and he stopped. He stared into the princess's room. His whiskers became as tight as bowstrings. What Furlough saw was Despero Tilling sitting at the foot of the king. What Furlough saw was the princess touching the top of her brother's head. "Cripes!" shouted Furlough again. "Oh, Cripes, he's nuts. He's a goner." And executing a classic scurry, Furlough went off to tell his father, Lester Tilling, the terrible, unbelievable news of what he had just seen. He knew it was going to happen, right? So he falls in love, his brother spies on him, and then goes to tattletale on him. Chapter 6. He simply cannot be my son," Lester said. He clutched his whiskers with his front paws and he shook his head from side to side in despair. "Of course he's your son," said Antoinette. "What do you mean he's not your son? This is a ridiculous statement. Why must you always make the ridiculous statements?" "You," said Lester, "it's your fault. The French blood in him has made him just crazy." Well, you know there's going to be a fight now, right? "C'est moi," said Antoinette. "C'est moi. What must it be I who take the blame? If your son is such a disappointment, it is as much your fault as it is mine." "Something must be done," said Lester. He pulled on his whisker so hard that it came loose. He waved the whisker over his head and he pointed at his wife. "He will be the end of us all," she shouted, "sitting at the foot of a human king. Unbelievable! It's unthinkable." "Oh, so dramatic," said Antoinette. She held out one paw and studied her painted nails. "He is a small mouse. How much of harm can he do?" "If there's one thing I've learned in this world," said Lester, "it is that mice must act like mice or else there's bound to be trouble. I will call a special meeting of the Mouse Council. Together we will decide what must be done. Ugh, Antoinette said, you and this Council of Mouse, it is a waste of time in my opinion. Don't you understand? Shouted Lester. He must be punished. He must be brought up before the tribunal. He pushed past her and dug furiously through a pile of paper scraps until he uncovered a thimble with a piece of leather attached across its opening. Oh, please, said Antoinette. She covered her ears. Not the drum of the Council of the Mouse. Yes, said Lester, the drum. He held it up high above his head, first to the north, then to the south, then to the east, and then to the west. He lowered it, turned his back to his wife, and he closed his eyes, and he took a deep breath, and he began to... One long beat with his tail, 2 staccato beats with his paw. Boom, ta-ta, boom, ta-ta, boom, ta-ta. The rhythm of the drum was a signal for the members of the Mouse Council. Boom, ta-ta, boom, ta-ta, boom. The beating of the drum let them know that an important decision would have to be made, one that affected the safety and well-being of the entire mouse community. Boom, ta, 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 boom, boom. What do you think so far? That's his own dad. His brother goes and tells on him, and then his dad goes and is calling a meeting of the Mouse Council. What do you think might happen? Oh, it's kind of scary. All because one little mouse loves music, falls in love with the human. Oh, there's going to be trouble, all right. I'm looking at chapters 5 and 6. It's talking about the cause and effect. We'll get to that page. Cause and effect. Why do we hear the drum of the Mouse Council at the end of chapter 6? What events actually caused the dad to do the drum, call the meeting? So on here, it gives you a little bit of information. It says effect, meaning that's what happened. We hear the drum of the Mouse Council. Yes, the end of the story, that's what we hear. Why do we hear it? Because his daddy was beating the drum. Yes, but why was his daddy beating the drum? Yes, his son's actions, revealing himself to a human, I guess falling in love with a human, or just having human contact. Furlough, the brother, is saying that he's crazy, he's a goner, he's not a mouse at all. So those are the things that were the cause of the drum being played. So I need you to write 2 or 3 really good sentences that describe what Despereaux did to cause his daddy to get the drum and beat on it.